Welcome back to the GSL Code S. We are about to begin game number 4 here. So far, Classic a little bit ahead of Sue.
That's right. 2-1. Looking pretty good right now for him. Maybe he's going to be able to take that home. He only needs 2 more wins, Staceless.
I got to say, Classic looks like he's read Sue very well so far. Sue going with a style that he doesn't normally go for. Sue a little bit less like your fundamental Zerg.
Yeah.
You know, most Zerg.
He's a muted guy, not a Stormhost guy.
Yeah, instead he's mixing it up. He's trying to do a lot of this aggressive mid-game play. Yep. Trying to, stay maybe just 1 base ahead and try to control the Protoss by taking out his army when the Protoss is on 3 bases and deny the 4th. Right now, Classic has been very patient, and he's managing to push through it and ultimately stop the Zerg from getting, or at least keeping his own 4th.
Yeah. Well, next map going to be Habitation Station. This map can be crazy. Of course, it's got those gold bases. I'm excited to see how this one goes, Tasteless. Who's going to take a gold? Someone's going to take a gold, right?
I would think so, right? I mean, it's a PvZ, and on a map like this, we see more weird gold-based strats than any other map in StarCraft II history, especially when it comes to the quick expand stuff. Now, let's see what Classic does here. I'm trying to think back of the PvZs Classic played on this map. We had so many games this season. Was Classic somebody who was quick expanding to this on this map to the gold base, or was that just Party?
I don't think that he did it. Like, I know Stork did it, Parting did it. I can't think of any other Protosses that were.
There might have been one more in there, although I don't think it was Classic.
Yeah,
but
I don't think so.
Also, let's keep in mind, what exactly is Sue going to do here, taking the gold base? Again, both these guys pretty unpredictable, especially Sue. Sue down 1 game. He needs to turn this around. So let's see what happens in game number 4 here in the GSL Code S Finals.
Classic GSL Season 2 Finals. Classic versus Sue.
Alrighty, it's time to see who's going to take a gold base. If no one takes a gold base, I'm going to be very disappointed.
It has happened before, though, when you have 2 players playing very conservatively. I'm interested in seeing if Sue keeps up this offbeat style.
Well, he is Sue. That's something that he became known for at the beginning of his rise to power.
Okay, so we have the spawning pool coming down here first for
Very
Sue.
safe, very safe.
Typical of what he's been doing so far. Not necessarily indicative of not taking the gold, though, but he definitely does not want to lose to cannon rushes early on, which I totally understand, especially on this map.
Uh-oh. Talking more about the Kong line. People are not going to let him live it down if he loses this, Stasis.
Nice shirt.
GSL. I like the GSL.
Hat for Vancouver. We got a lot of people from all over the world here today.
That's right. It is the Global StarCraft League. Although only Koreans in it right now, unfortunately. So as soon as I said that, I'm like, huh. We used to have foreigners playing in it, but now with WCS, not as common for sure.
No, people want to stay more on their home turf.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the gold base being taken and 6 slings being made. Classic is staying on his main base. He's got a cybernetic score coming here.
Yeah. This looks like it's going to be a gateway expand, but he has some options, and I kind of like that he chose to go with the gateway expansion as opposed to a forge, because the build that Sue did is a safe gold. Like, you can't cannon this. You're just completely safe doing this.
It's a gold that's a little bit later, but you're absolutely right. There's not much, if anything, really Protoss can do early on to punish you, which is smart, because Sue needs to have as little risk as possible. I think Sue is definitely, I thought going into this, the better player, but
well, with a gateway opener,
he just needs to play safe.
With a gateway opener, Classic may be able to get something done against it. I'm not sure what exactly. Like, maybe he'll follow up with one of these really strong 4 gates after expand. Hell, maybe he'll 4 gate on 1 base. Haven't seen that in a long time. But the thing is, Sue's playing just right. He saw that this is a gateway expand, and he's getting gas. So if he can get speed up, he should be able to stop anything coming if he scouts it quick enough. So many Angry Bird posters.
So many Angry Bird pictures. Which one looks like Angry Birds? I guess that would be Sue. He's the angry one.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Oh, not quite parting control there on that mothership core.
Parting would almost be.
Oh
my God.
He hasn't killed one yet. Please kill a drone.
There would be 3 dead drones right now. If it was
oh my God, that was really sloppy by Classic.
Yeah.
But he's coming up here now.
Well, he can still pick these off.
Oh, nice control from here, though, with the stalker and everything else.
Yeah, this is quite a nice harassment thus far.
Now, is he making anything else back in his base? Classic? No, so far?
Well, he's just making another Stalker. Does this mean, in fact, he's about to add gateways. He's going to add 3 gates. Is he just going to 4 gate?
He's going to all in.
I think he is.
He has to, right?
Well, he hasn't made a Nexus yet. Speed is about to finish, which is going to make making a Nexus very hard. He's going to actually have to add some gateways, I think. No, he goes right into Nexus now.
What? That's weird.
I guess the speed...
I guess, you know, it's not necessarily true that the 4 gate would work as well, but I feel like, how can he hold the gold here? I mean,
Oh, he canceled... Oh, I am so sorry. I thought it was in his natural. I was just looking at the production pattern. I'm like, I don't like this choice even. But now that it's in the gold, yeah, it's... I mean, that's going to be... how do you hold this against Speedlings?
That's what I'm saying, is I don't understand.
Like, even if it was in the natural, I'm like, oh, I don't know. I think Speedlings are going to be able to break this. But
Speed, by the way, about to finish. He should be able to get a surround on these Stalkers.
Yeah.
Okay, he backs up, and Speed is, like, so close to being done. Okay, it's done now. And now this is a problem for the Stalkers. Nice time warp, but the Lings do truck through there pretty quickly. Nice micro there.
Yeah.
Takes that out. Now, again, it's the gold base. He has to stop the gold base from getting up here. And also notice he burnt out the Mothership Core energy, so he's not going to have a Nexus cannon.
That is very true.
Which was probably a pretty big mistake, although I don't know if he would have held this anyways.
Yeah, and he didn't cancel here. So with more Lings on the way, this Nexus is going to go down. And Tasteless, you know, we always talk about base numbers and Zerg being a base up and how strong that is. But when it's 1 against 2, you can't do anything.
Oh, I like this. Actually, coming up here trying to get the sentries. Now, what Classic's doing is he's trying to take 2 Nexuses in 2 different locations, but I don't know if either one is holdable. I believe the energy on the Mother Nexus, okay, it's at 87, which is just not enough time to save this base necessarily. Also, he's got a limited amount of energy on the sentries there. So, in fact, the Mass Lings could continue to break through this. He's going to get this. There you go. And then 100 energy there on the Mothership Core. Now, he comes up here. This Wallen's tight enough that from here, Classic should have another base secured. But the problem, guys, is that the gold base is done for Sue. He's got drones there. He's got more than enough to crank out the army necessary, I would think, to break the 3rd base here for Classic.
Yeah, if Sue just goes into Roach Hydra from here, just gets a few more drones, gets his economy just set, these Lings are going to keep him safe until he gets Roach Hydra, and then he's going to have so many units that you just literally can't break it. It would take, like, Zest, basically, in a perfect game to break it.
And...
and with how late that base is now, you can't break
this.
That.
Is almost like a math problem. I just don't see a solution coming out.
It's one of those
with a good number here for Classic. Yeah, I mean,
math
they would have to be one of those. Seriously, it would be really difficult for Sue to not break Classic in this situation. And now, I guess Classic is so down on options, he's going to try to push out and take the gold of his own, because this is a lot of sentries out here. And if he loses these sentries, he's in a lot of trouble.
You know, he may as well. He's got to do something crazy to come back here. Why not move out in the map with 10 sentries and a Mothership Core and see what you can get done? Actually, he's just proxying a pylon.
Is he actually going to?
Well, I mean, there's just no way that, right? Like, well...
Okay. He does get a good amount of force fields there, but keep in mind, Roaches are coming up here, and the Roaches can just shoot over the force fields easily. So he goes back, but how many sentries were actually picked off? The attacks going to continue
7.
onward.
I believe he just lost 7 sentries. He has already lost the Nexus. Okay, he lost 6 sentries.
Okay, well, the problem now is that since he lost that much, this is such a lower number of force fields. It's Zealots and Sentries. Now, the Zealots head-to-head against Roaches, anybody who's played StarCraft II has seen this, they don't do well.
No.
The Sentries, even if they're behind the force field against Roaches, don't do well. Eventually the force field goes away, and the Lings and Roaches get in there. I think that there is a very limited amount of time, for him to actually last in this game, and especially taking the other base down here. It seems like Classic is just scrambling, trying to get a base up anywhere, but
yeah,
I mean, this isn't going to work either. I mean, look at the number of Lings and Roaches coming around here.
We could literally put Classic against someone in, like, Diamond League, and he's not going to hold this in this position. I guess he has to take risks, so that's what he's doing, but this game is totally over, and Sue is showing us why.
This nice force field, but that's going to disappear in a second. The Roaches now coming here with the Lings, doing so much damage. Do we have more reinforcements coming up here, though?
Well, he's making more units, but they aren't even on the way really across the map yet.
He is getting the sentries, though.
Even though, yeah, he holds this, like, how many sentries have we seen die? Like 14 or something? It's just...
That's a lot.
His army right now is just so bad. Just speed's going to finish for Roaches, then he's going to die.
The robotics facility just now finished here. One changeling there to spot that. And then taken out. Yeah, I mean, when you get down on sentries, this is you kind of StarCraft 101, guys. I mean, when you lose that many sentries early on, you're so behind because you have no way to manipulate the battlefield in your favor. So, for instance, he won that last little engagement, but here comes the next one. What, there's one sentry here. Roaches with speed, Lings with speed.
Twice the army supply right now for Sue.
Yeah.
Against this many Roaches, you need a lot of sentries to have any chance. Throws on the next cannon. That is only going to slow him temporarily,
That's
though.
a Band-Aid solution right there. More Stalkers.
No, that's... You know what that is? That is a duct tape over a gun wound strategy right there, Tasteless.
He'll wait for this Nexus cannon to finish up.
That's a leave me your hand pistol and I'll wait here and hold the zombies off as long as I can.
I got 6 bullets left in my gun and I'm going to just stay inside this tire shed.
Shoots 5 and then he looks at the gun and he GG's. All right, well, I mean, he's getting Blink. That's none of this is going to be enough, though. Thing is, we see him going Spire. I'm not sure why he's going for Spire here. I feel like just a ground army is going to be the superior situation to bust this. You know, you can make a huge arc. There's obviously not going to be enough sentries to hold it off. And, you know, like, for instance, going to Spire, that's going to be a situation that you really want against a lot of sentries. But when your opponent has 2 sentries, just Roachling Hydra will bust it. In this type of situation, but he's going for mutas, and I mean, I think it's like anything he does can work in this situation.
He's probably had a few failed attacks there at the front. Decides he needs to at least go for the air or something. Maybe he can take out the main counterattack now. This will get the Stalkers out of position. But okay, he's going to turn around. I thought he was going to keep going for a second.
Yeah, he's just trying to run him around so that he can go for these mutas.
Ooh, nice time warp there, blinking on top of those.
Well, you know, it's nice to pick off some units, but he has nothing in his main base, right? That's just completely empty. I don't think there's even a cannon up there. There shouldn't be, at least. A lot of spines on the way to make sure a counterattack can't kill him. And this is brutal. That is a lot of mutas. You can't warp in 3 Stalkers and beat those.
Okay, so the Muta is now going to eliminate all these Stalkers over here. A base trade scenario here. Now, keep in mind, he did have a lot of Spine Crawlers here. Roaches and Lings now coming up and hitting the 3rd base. Classic is going to go ahead and go for the gold. And at this point in time, pursue the gold is expendable.
Well,
that's too much. That's just too much.
Yeah, you're not going to break that. You need a couple of mortals in that army to break this efficiently. I mean, he can eventually kill all the spines, but he's going to have to GG here, Tasteless. Everything has gone down for
Classic. Well, the Mutas can simply put Fly back along with and the Roaches and Lings can come back, and then he's going to win that fight against the Stalkers. It looks like, let's see here, a few more Mutas about to pop out now. Pretty exciting endgame here. We actually got a base trade scenario. He takes out this hatch now.
Hey, at least Classic got something to happen here, right?
Yeah.
This was such a dire situation that if he had GG'd, no one could have been angry at him, really. It was just, it was so bad losing that Nexus and then all those sentries. But at least he's tried to make something out of it. But look at the forces of Sue. He's just got so much more right now.
Okay. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that! Move command. Oh my God, don't do that. Well, that definitely sealed the deal.
We might actually see just all the bases eliminated here, like all the buildings dead. Did remake a Nexus in a very hidden location.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
I didn't even know there was a base down there. What?
Okay, this is a lot of Stalkers now.
Yeah, it's a lot, for sure. It's still a very scary force.
Get spotted? Did the Nexus get spotted? I think the Zerg has to know.
Yeah, he's sending stuff down right now, so it looks like he's just going to have to GG.
Okay, yeah, this is checkmate because there's no way. Yeah, Protoss has no other buildings. That's going to do it. Wow, exciting game there. Oh, one
He's
pylon, but that won't last, I don't
not
think.
giving up yet. Oh, there, he found it. Uh-oh. There's another Nexus. It's not an expansion right there. It's just hidden.
It looks like everything in the Zerg's base has almost been eliminated, but again, there's just still some hatches over here. And that, I think, should do it. There's no other probes on the map. Yeah, no other probes out. And, of course, you do have to have all your structures eliminated. GG.
All right, goes down to the wire there. Only one hatch was actually left for Sue as well. So, made it closer than it should have been for sure out of Classic. Good on him. Tied up 2-2, Tasteless.
Still anybody's game.
It's a best of 3 now.
This is true. Throw these other games out the window.
Maybe, yeah.
Interesting openers there. Sue playing very safe. Classic, I got to say, that was a funky build. You can see he's still frustrated with that last game because I think from start to finish that was a bumpy game.
Yeah,
You know, the gold base getting canceled and ending with him walking stalkers into the spine crawlers. He seemed to be a little bit all over the place with his control.
It can be frantic in base trades. You know, it's hard to do everything right and do everything that you need to do. You know, his opening that game was pretty cool, though. I like that he tried to get that gateway pressure on. He almost did a lot of damage, but then after losing that base and the many sentries, it was just no way, no how, man. Sue knew exactly how to finish that off.
Well, game number 5 is going to be next. Sue, even though he won that was a little bit closer than I felt like it could have been.
Yeah, for sure. Well, he went Mutas. If he just threw down a Hydra Sten,
or Hydra, yeah.
Like with 2 sentries, are you going to beat a huge arc of maxed Ling Roach Hydra with just Blink Stalkers and 2 sentries? No, never in a million years.
Well, map number 5 is going to be on Overgrowth.
Indeed it is.
It's a great map for PvZ.
Yeah, we have definitely seen some epic ones here.
We have seen a lot of cool cannon rushes. I don't know if we're going to see that this time. Sue has been opening with cannon rush proof builds.
Yeah, he's not messing around against cannon rushes. But wouldn't that be a perfect time for Class to try to cannon rush?
Well, it would be very unexpected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why Sue could theoretically go for a hatch first play. Even
you got to mix up your builds,
you know. Hatch first, so he might. It's a possibility.
Well, game number 5 has loaded up. Again, it's 2-2. It is the first of 4 wins to become the champion of the longest-standing StarCraft II show. Now here in Seoul, Korea, the GSL Code S. This is Sue against Classic.